plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out. The tent looks old but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. The thick journal bound in brown leather. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
I just don't think she killed a mercenary. It's mostly a gut feeling, though, since we let her walk out without hearing her side of the story. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure. The head of a major Jamrock gang specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person.
He's not 100% sure you're not indebted to this very, very bad person.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre. Could have been Titus. Then again... Maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
The pearlescent paper adamantly resists being held open. It demands struggle at both ends. The print inside is just as taxing, due to its fine and curlicued font. The most attractive part is the image emblazoned across the top. Feisty little thing. But don't worry, it's under control. Devious use of swish there. It's a font literally designed to win legal agreements by way of being almost unreadable through flamboyance. Inside an oval frame is a grey sketch of a curly-haired girl enthusiastically riding an industrial drill. It's churning up hard chunks of rocky ground and scattering them into the air. In the hole created beneath is a silvery river of liquid metal. Each letter is shaped like a laugh line being pulled in a million different directions. They're all grinning at you, pleased with practically being indecipherable. You can do this. Maybe squinting will help. Your vision blurs into a haze of dark scribbles. It's like looking at a wrought iron fence through a greasy lens. Not a single recognizable symbol appears to you. That really didn't help, did it? How about opening your eyes as wide as possible? The scroll across the paper opens wide, its many grins back at you. A mess of mouths ready to swallow you up. Intertwined and interflowing. Impenetrably. Your eyes begin to water. Okay. Enough of that. It's starting to sting. Better try another approach. A bold black mesh curves around the oval image at the top of the document. It almost looks as if it were penned with intention. Perhaps it was. You're starting to think it might actually say something. If it does, it remains hidden from you. All you see is a baffling enigma, a coiled nest of viper letters. If they even are letters, there must be some form of logic hidden away in there. The certificate threatens to coil back into itself as you relax a little.
Our tenant.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
Shh.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Courty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's the third one. How did we miss something like this? If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene. The Mercenary Tribunal. No, we have to step in. This is not going to end well if we don't.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around.
You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes, a bull ready to charge. He's not listening, but looking for an opening. Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted.
She's fucking gone! She fucking sailed off. You're alone.
Stay cool! Don't do anything stupid!
The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys,
I'd just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click softly. Click, click, click. The realization comes to you like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Cortiner. The dead man's name is Elise Cortiner. He's brothers with the deceased.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. You're all sentenced to death while led.
He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck. Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Fuck do you mean, talker?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah, he liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets, squeeze a bit of kit tass here and there. Great fucking idea that turned out to be. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for sure. But me, I'm not a big fan of public affairs, Clay Monkey. I'll gun every one of you down for what you did.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down clots. Ooh, Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records. That was in there. And other things.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor, and now these cunts finished the job.
There's real anguish in his voice. A drunken sadness suddenly engulfs him. Memories.
It's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up to fuck with us. Major, permission to.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
Find his killer. Cop, his killer stands right there, shitting his pants, and you're standing in the way, protecting them. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here. Today.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center. All right, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Crano would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Me? I fucking told you. I'm a Crenel Major with 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation strike. Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun, but we're beyond that now.
King Reaper. You're right, but you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something. Easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
left!
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What am I doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost? She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
For God's sake, tell him the Hardys didn't do it. Present a case.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer, Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
The gunner, the raddest, the killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Cloven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21. About 50 little stick figures. All of them black, plus 2 little white ones in the end. These men served in Seminine, the native islanders.
That's right. Plenty of kits here in Revachol, too.
T, let's fucking do it. Clean.
Yeah? Who did that? How fucking convenient.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
One of us? You saying we? What if I just shot one of your pals here right now? Huh? How about the kid? Go ahead. Tell me we fucking killed our own colonel one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court-martial won't decide who...
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
Fucking liars.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind.
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot.
Yes. So what? Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking government-ordained super soldier.
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking chat!
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
A plume of smoke and fire erupts from the gun, and your hand goes numb from the explosion. The smoke drifts west with the wind. You hear the plaza erupt in violence, slow like a waterfall in reverse. There is a hole in his cheek. Blood gushes out as he stumbles backward, eyes filled with rage and disbelief, gurgling, muttering something unintelligible. His lips moving, swollen with fear. are trying to say, shoot him, but he can't. To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens, focusing on you. 0.6 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the thick barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger. Absolute destruction. God, you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out. From the corner of your eye, you see the lieutenant raise his pistol and aim it at Rude. He's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. In the background, the leader staggers. It's not easy. He has 0.4 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own. A low shot rings. You feel a tapping, like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shock evenly from plate to plate. You got hit. The armor took most of it, but still your ribcage burns. Feels like blood is slowly seeping into your lungs.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you. Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his helmet are not human. An unbelievable shot from the lieutenant. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. You see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through all the smoke and the panic. With blood gushing from his face, the man raises his pistol at you. Then he squeezes the trigger. The look of vengeance, framed in blood, lips shaking. This is the last thing he'll do on Earth. But he will do it. He is your end. Here it comes. Death. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. A distant blur as you recede into it. The Hardy Boys are screaming, fighting, dying. Someone jumps over you. Nearby gunfire shatters glass.
Stop! The cop! Protect the cop! He's down!
Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened there. Even clutching to your consciousness takes everything you got. Most of what's down there. You can also feel the bone where the bullet went in. Something very sharp, like broken teeth under your fingers. Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone, when suddenly you sense something behind him, a slender white shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising her pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips, your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling on yours in the course of the motion. You hear a faint scream, a woman's. Then the sound disappears, like someone pressed stop on the tape. The woman is gone. So is Kim. Then the whole world.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon we will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally, we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a Caprice Kinema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse, and drink water. Yes, the joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine. Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under-the-counter bad.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
Isn't that written on your...
It served you well. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. Pity? Cool. What happened? You shot the major in the face. A firefight ensued. Yes. As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He hit the cuirass. I heard it go off. I was looking for a clear line of sight to him.
He sounds a tiny bit sorry he did not find it before you got hit.
I shot and wounded him. while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive. Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo did not make it. They both died before they made it to intensive care. Titus survives. So do Alain and the musician. I forget his name. Yes, he's still alive too. You were bleeding out by then. I think you say that no one wants to party with you, and you warned me. I was able to disarm one of them, the Pole, before she got the jump on me. I killed her, and that's what happened. This is the one. The Pole was the last to die. Evrard had their bodies returned to Crenel for a funeral. The company is yet to retaliate. Because we deterred them? Or Joyce did? Maybe the harbor in full lockdown is too costly a target. Or maybe they are simply taking their time and will attack soon. I don't know. 3. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one, he took a lot of bullets. And Theo, he was just too old for combat. All. Let's face it, officer, and this is both of our fault. It could have gone a little better. 6 people are dead. But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. The bruising in your shoulder is negligible. The armor took the brunt of the fire. We will see.
You won't be able to dance much, that's for sure. You should be able to live with limping around, though.
No. I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site. I'm sure they're worried about you.
That means he hasn't seen them around while you were out. They're not really worried about you. If they were, wouldn't they be here?
I don't know.
He may have some idea, but he's not gonna get into it with you.
I did. It's part of a detective's task chain. You can do it too.
Actually, you can. You can even remove a fractured bullet, it seems.
Not very. I have a concussion from that woman beating me with the butt of her gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see her coming. Stupid of me. Easy now.
Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing.
How are you? Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Gefreiter. I honestly don't know. Do you? Because we can't talk to Evrard. The harbor's in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. Joyce has left too, thanks to our meddling. I don't know what to think. It might not have been a bad idea. There is a pin somewhere in the machine. Something is keeping Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone, and Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know? Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up. I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around from the war, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is that makes that bullet useless. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else? Yes, God cursed the footprints, not solving the case for us. Au diable. I don't know. That's been there for years. What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to keep everything.
He's wrong.
Okay. Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies. Even if you are, it is not a decisive factor in this case.
That does make some sense.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
I'm listening. I'm ready to hear what you think about solving crimes now. It really is very hard.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good. Where do you want to limp to?
The lieutenant did mention doing more ballistics. Also, it's just close enough to endure the walk.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Gart open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. Back there on the plaza, I think you very nearly had a heart attack. Alcoholism has damaged you more than bullets have. We should go.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift. I am not drawing my gun, yet, but I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note.
It's hardly surprising.
You look at her rough, jagged handwriting on the note. She was in a rush, but not panicked. Deliberate, focused. You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, B triple prime, the island in the bay.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point. I remember. She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe, but at this point, what difference does it make? So it is.
There, across the grey water, amidst crumbling concrete, a birch tree, and the half-sunken ruins of a flak tower.
Could be the makings of a sniper's nest.
Why not? Military fortifications are made for that kind of thing.
Of course. I mean, how do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
A red thread.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you. You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching until you hit him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway, I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify that. Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business. I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad. Yeah, I was, yeah. That's because I'm a badass. Yeah, I don't know. Clients were panicking. And also, I guess I sort of found out that I don't give a shit if I die. No problem. They'll come back. They always do.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his bear in welcome.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you. But I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you.
This is big. It's as big of a thank you as Titus Hardy can muster under any circumstances.
Dick Mullen on steroids. Glenn would have liked you had he gotten it. Never mind. I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads. Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. As long as Titus Hardy's standing, there will be Hardy boys. Theo was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear. And Glenn, Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I'd love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit. Well, yeah. Memento Mori. Right.
Memento Mori, or remember that you must die, is a slogan various religious orders have thrown around since the dawn of mankind to emphasize the vanity of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly pursuits. In essence, it means one should live virtuously in this life to live better in the afterlife.
Absolutely. Today, I'm going to get drunk, eat good food, and bed a good-looking girl. 'Cause tomorrow, a motor carriage might run me over.
Or you might die of a heart failure. Or syphilis.
Hey, fuck you for ruining a beautiful idea.
Don't know, don't care. I'll be glad if I never see that fucking woman again. Nope.
He did. He nods and takes another sip of whiskey.
Judging by the sight of you, I'd suggest crawling into bed with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a big tit in the other.
Yeah, go pay Monica visiting Janrock. She's got a knack for making men forget about their worries. Biggest pair of milkers in all Rebacho.
Hell, you both look like you could use some feminine company right now.
Thank you for your advice, Eugene, and you too, Alain. I do always appreciate a good use of the expression milkers.
It sincerely amuses him how hard these guys typecast themselves.
You're welcome, Bina Claude. You're all right in my book. Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on you today, but men don't get that lucky twice.
Copo Loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Shamrock. Scott.
Thanks for getting involved, guys. Not a lot of cops would step into that line of fire, but you did.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back, I've got a few vacancies. You'd make one hardy boy, copper.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Scar. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday. And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? You could buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there, just to see what happens. See if it's flammable. It's better that way. Safer.
Is this about the questions?
A colourful...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and... Here you go, mister.
You see several... The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn...
Here you go.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife, not bullets. It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace, though. You have a true boyadero heart. Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out, for the time being. No, man. Not today. Today is war.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's no big deal.
Time will tell. I'll tell Everard you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad. I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am. Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live. You know it, friend.
The graffiti. This was Cindy the Skull. The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. Oh, he would have liked that. Violent lives ending violently. That's how he wanted to go. Sadly, it was not the case. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is, part of life really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the belts of revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore. Yes, we all got to go sometime, officer. Everyone I love is already there. Probably waiting for me. I'm not afraid to die. It's been a good run, and I really miss my friends.
We are both very sorry.
It is what it is. I just don't... Officer, I just can't do this right now. The Union, it just doesn't matter anymore.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Something is wrong. Only static hisses through the speaker. No reply. Only the mindless drone of static crawling through the air.
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversations and jamming outward communications to protect themselves from Crenel. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. Our best bet is to carry on like nothing happened. That is, if we don't want us cut off the grid completely. No more dangerous than stepping between 3 armed mercenaries and 8 Union men, I hope. I don't like it either, but that's the way it is. The street seems safe enough to me. If anything, taking out the mercs made things calmer. For now. You can try calling again. Just don't mention the tribunal. And remember, they are listening in.
Everything sounds okay. No drumbeat of total war yet. If anything, everything sounds too okay. In the cabin, you see...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir. Well, there have been some talk, sir. I only meant that there have been some talk in the station, that's all. But there are always some talk in the station. You know how officers in Jamrock are. But then again, some of us truly are on the take. It's unfortunate. Over. Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
Yes? What about me? No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. Had a strong sense of finality to it. So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local Union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show. Good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you. But hey, you're still breathing, right?
The scaffolding around the old monument has been taken down. In its place are the spoils of your investment. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place. An apricot scepter shines party bright across the monument. Glitter balls dangle like severed heads below the eternal king of disco. It is unmistakably a vision of you in your prime. A killer on the performance floor. Icon for all.
Doesn't feel right to party now, does it? Are you at least happy with it?
Putting on a brave face and partying as hard as possible is the best way to get through tough times. Happy isn't the word. You can be satisfied with a job well done, but the current mood doesn't invite any analogues to joy.
Detective, I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
He nods, eyes still on the megastar above, his face tinged by the citrus beams warming the cold air.
Why did you do it?
He nods. The roundabout is quiet, almost eerily so, under the brilliant sun. The king of disco is lit up like a stage, anticipating a funky beat that will never come. Good, take no responsibility over this disaster. People are trying to mourn, and all they can see is your gaudy figure mocking them from above. Don't you see? Idiot Doom Spiral has finally achieved something remarkable.
But was it all worth it? Everything that came before? Cindy, the stocks, the thing with Idiot Doom Spiral? Ah, yes. Spoken like a true philanthropist. All right, shall we? We still have some things left to do before we can go home. I don't think we have time for that. And even if we did, I doubt he's around anymore. Everyone's left. Sure, whenever you're ready.
The disco dancer towers above, mounted on a horse. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place. A silver plaque on not a good track as you look up.
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool. Cool. That's very cool to Kuno. Just don't think because you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now, Kuno's gonna treat you different. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that.
Feels good for some reason.
Watch out, pig. It's a dangerous world out there. But Kuno's got his eyes on you. Who knows?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked. No sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this ghetto. Oh my God! Even the police can't take care of all of this. Just look at that limp. Someone should do something about this. Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Yes! It makes sense. Crime is the sixth element, you see. The darkest element. I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies and to fight crime. No need to be modest, good officer. You've convinced me. It is a great idea. Thank you for the inspiration. In the meantime...
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books? Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here?
You have absolutely no idea.
Wow! A cop limping down the street, bleeding from the shoulder, face bruised, looking like hell? You know what that is? Cool! That's cool! I only accept legal tender, officer. Unless that's code for something.
It is not code. He really means his individual net worth. It is not legal tender.
In that case, I cannot accept that as payment, officer. I run everything above board here. Cash only.
Between you and me, this is why I don't get involved in local politics. In its purest form, now, what can I do for you? This is... I certainly wouldn't pass up the opportunity to acquire something that can make princes out of peons. Owning shares, that's where the proper trade is. Far beyond the pittance I deal with in here. Nothing's wrong with it. The shop suits me fine, it's just... we all need a bit of luck in our lives, you know. A lottery win, no can do. I need to make money. This is a business first and foremost, not a charity. No offense, but I don't think it would do me much good. Nothing to do with you. It's just my customers tend to be, well, they wouldn't know who you are.
He's right. His customers are desperates, lowlifes, and bored browsers. They don't understand high culture. They don't want their purchases to elevate them. They just want some old junk at a bargain price.
I'd be glad to trade for your shares. Let's stick to that. In theory, yes. You probably have enough to afford it all. However, I don't plan on selling up and joining the mastodons of La Delta just yet. What I can do is trade that modified streetlight over there for some of your shares. It's the most expensive item in here. The finest in interior lighting.
Expensive isn't everything. And we know that light isn't even a recognizable brand. You can't exactly strut down the street and turn heads with it like you can a new Perseus Black number either. Let's not completely write it off yet. Perhaps there's a business venture to be had here. Any ideas? Turn it into an art installation. Invite viewers to question what it means to bring an outside light inside. We have so many barriers to break down and concepts to explore. For a price, of course. There's much to be learned in this kind of rewiring job. You could steal its secrets and make a whole line of modified street tech to sell to the public. It's up to you. If you think it's got ROI potential, then go ahead. Just bear in mind that these shares are developing into a fortune without you having to do anything.
Right. Have another look at it. Really take in that quality craftsmanship. Any other questions in the meantime?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
More than happy. Like I said, I value the streetlight at 700 real. You decide how many of your shares that gets me.
As little as possible. We only sell shares if we're getting something of more value for them. Shares are premium goods. Think big business. A 20th of your shares is a sensible offer. Very divisible as far as numbers go.
That's a reasonable offer.
The pose, the power. Yes, drag this part out and reel in your audience, darling. See if they will crack under the suspense.
All right, you have a deal. The streetlight is all yours. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, good. But I won't be holding on to these shares for long. Let's just say there's some long overdue business I've got to deal with. Oh, sure. It is quite heavy. You're going to need a truck. That's all right. I can keep it here for you until you find one. Tell you what.
Did he just do a runner? He can't get away that easily. Try calling out to him. Don't panic. I'm sure he's just doing his shoelaces up. Something like that.
Here we go. It's a sign that declares you the owner of the streetlight. Stick it on and people will know that it's yours.
Great idea. One of your physical assets on display for the public. Maybe this was a good idea after all. We could sell tickets for people to come see it. Turn this into a little money churner. But let's come back to that idea later. There's easier money to be made elsewhere. Just get that sign stuck on there for now.
There you go. Beautiful job.
It reads, sold to the Disco Cop for shares in MK Mercury Group. The word looks surprisingly official for a small-time trader. Some of your big biz flair must be rubbing off on him. The pole has been carefully cut, the wiring redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Oh, right. That's good.
Your eyes slide back to the 700 real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light seems to flicker ever so slightly, like a butterfly. It casts shadows on the sign.
One quick question. How do I get hold of my shares? All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Here he is, the man, the reality, the financial czar. You seen it yet? Great!
He's struggling to cover up his nerves now that he's having one less beer a day.
Well, no rush, but it'd be good to know what you make of it when you get a chance. Yeah, 2 secs. Ugh. Right, let's hear you then. I put a lot of work into that project, Tequila. A lot of work. Had to bring back my hustle game and call in some old partners to pull it off. So come on, tell me what I want to hear. What do you mean? The timing couldn't be better. The traffic through town will return now that the strike's over. Don't worry, I've thought about this. Let your personal brand strategist handle the timing, all right? You just focus on telling me what you liked about my work up there.
What more could you want? He got your brand out there while giving back to the community. He hit the brief perfectly. The utter genius of its design, conveyed beautifully through his commitment to a singular aesthetic. He's gone above and beyond. Picking the right praise to give is just as important as picking the right critique. People shape themselves according to any and all feedback they get.
Fuck yeah, they will. Tequila Sunset is on the timeline. They'll be talking about you for years. The one and only. Bet you're glad you hired me as your personal brand strategist now. So, what's next, boss? You bet your ass I will. Tequila Sunset is just getting started. No one's ready for the shit we're going to pull. Thanks for this, boss. Just what I needed. Is there anything else I can do for you right now?
Our tenant, the policeman. Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. I'm not sure those were the loss of the men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind, officer.
Then we'll be ready for them. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around you slip.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect...
Equip the multi-tool by going to the Tools tab.
This orange turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood.
Yes, what is it?
The mother of humanism stands above you.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You're you. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead. I've always taken you for one, that's for sure. Not a lot of RCM men who aren't killers. Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother...
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. We sad to lose the first one. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him doing.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
On that island. That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
I don't know what these are. They're nice. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but...
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
because he doesn't want to be found. Smoke traces.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't. I don't know. Doesn't even have anything to do with this, you. Father isn't the fire guy.
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make sense.
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. The boat's belly is a shiny yellow color, industrial paint over fresh tar. You see it reflect off the water, along with the factory number, A72, SRV made. This machine represents humanitarian aid from a workers' state on the Samaran Isola. The ROO logo on the engine gives it away. That and a white 5-pointed star. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
It'll float. What? Fine. Let's blast SAD FM then.
SAD FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Want to be free. Want to be free.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go. The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, locking off that side of the bay.
From enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea. The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away, 102, 105. On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work. A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree. The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers. A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building. Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless. A jitter. A sound impatient to happen, but not yet in this world.
Yes? I have. Is that why we're stopping?
The lieutenant nods in silence. An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Downstairs, somewhere, liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. A hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
That is his idea of a joke. A small agony. Minuscule bones may have fractured, but it proves the point. He nods approvingly.
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.